I am honored to speak today about my experience at the San Diego Youth Leadership Conference. Some background information about me. My name is Amadora. I'm 14 years old from Los Angeles, California. I'm currently an incoming freshman at Pacifica Christian High School in Santa Monica, California. I play indoor and beach volleyball and I'm on my school's junior varsity team. I'm an actor and I've been professionally acting since I was 3 years old and I love musical theater. My favorite subject in school is history and I love Greek and Norse mythology. When my grandparents, who are here today, asked if I wanted to participate in the San Diego Youth Leadership Conference for 2021, I immediately said yes. As a kid, I was always told I was a natural leader, whether it was on the stage or on the court or even in the classroom. Having the opportunity to expand on this gift at a conference where I could learn even more about leadership was something that I couldn't refuse. I remember the day of the conference waking up bright and early, ready to learn, take notes, and be a part of the conference. I got there that morning with high expectations for the day ahead. We were first sorted into different groups named after the founding fathers: Alexander Hamilton, John Adams, Thomas Jefferson, etc. At first, I was a little nervous, not knowing anyone and being the youngest kid at the conference, but I would warm up as the day progressed. I was placed at the John Adams table, named after the second president of the United States and vice president under George Washington. We started the conference going over the rules, the emergency procedures, and selecting our table's group leader. Once our group leader was assigned, we went around the table saying our names, where we go to school, and a fun fact about ourselves. Our group leader would then collect our synopsises about ourselves and read them when it was our table's turn. After we got to know each other, we learned a little bit about our country's history, how the colonists came to America, why they came here, and why they settled where they settled when they came. We were then given a copy of the Declaration of Independence and why as Americans we should read the document annually. We then analyzed the Declaration, identified the reasons why our country was founded, and analyzed important parts of the document. We then moved on to our country's Constitution and how it came into existence. We then discussed the elements of the world's longest surviving written charter of government. We then worked with our table to describe the articles and amendments of the U.S. Constitution and outline the responsibilities of the branches of the U.S. government. After analyzing the Constitution, we talked about the individual rights and civic responsibilities of the U.S. Constitution and outlined the responsibilities of the branches of the U.S. government. We then moved on to the Bill of Rights and learned how it was created, who the rights include, and the structure of the Bill of Rights. We did some group work and learned how each amendment impacts every person living in the United States, who benefits from each amendment and who is limited from each amendment. After learning about the documents of our country, we then learned about our country's flag. We stated our country's pledge, where we were explained the purpose of the pledge, identified the precedents, and the flag's displays. It was around noon when we had our lunch and learn, where we identified the leadership traits and recognized a good leader and identified their traits. My group was assigned dependability, enthusiasm, and a good lead and judgment. After lunch, we had a challenge that would test our leadership skills. We were given a marshmallow, dried spaghetti, a piece of tape, and some string, and we were tasked with the challenge of who could make the tallest tower without it falling over. Unfortunately, our marshmallow tower didn't stand for long, but it was a fun challenge nonetheless. It tested our patience, showed who truly was our group's leader, and how we could continue to persist through difficult challenges. We also learned how to take off a paperclip. It's a little difficult. Here we go. After the marshmallow challenge, Speaker Martin Lloyd told the conference a story about persistence, patience, and perseverance as a veteran of the Royal Air Force who suffered a freak motorcycle accident. His story was truly inspiring, and after his talk, the conference was open for questions and we got to learn more about him. After Martin's talk, the conference learned about free enterprise, what it is, its role in government, and the benefits of free enterprise. Then we were presented a challenge: create a restaurant and a logo with the basic concepts of the business with the idea of free enterprise. Our group thought of the idea: eat around the world. All-you-can-eat buffet that showcases cultures from around the world. If you're craving spaghetti from Italy, but you also want some tacos, why not have both? If you're craving, you can eat as much as you want from wherever you want without leaving the comfort of the buffet. As you can tell, our group had a lot of fun creating our restaurant. After our presentation, we learned about leadership in business and what a leader should be. And before we knew it, the conference was over, we were given our certificates and we cleaned up. I couldn't believe that it was already over. It was such a fun experience. I walked out of the conference with a plethora of information and an experience I'll never forget, and the knowledge about our country that I had never known before. I learned the importance of the Declaration and how important it was to start our country, how the Bill of Rights and the amendments give the people of the United States individual rights, how detailed the U.S. Constitution is, and so much more. I am truly grateful for you all nominating me to sending me to the San Diego Youth Leadership Conference, and I want to thank you all for letting me speak about my experience here today. It was a life-changing conference, and the advice I learned at the conference will transfer into my life and when I start high school in the fall. Thank you so much.
Hey,